Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And Mr. Nice Guy writes in. You can sense trouble immediately. Mr. Nice Guy says, Tom, I'm a long-time listener, and I love the show. Now listen to this sentence, and it pretty much explains itself twice. He says, I'm 23, I'm single, and I hate it. I'm 23, I'm single, and I hate it. That's what he says. Of course, by definition, anyone who uses the word single to describe themselves hates it. People who say I'm single are people who want to be in a couple or married. Single implies a vacuum that needs to be filled. People who say I'm single want to be married. People who say I'm single sign up for online dating, or they do things like speed dating or power dating. People who say I'm single go on singles cruises. People who say I'm single join groups in church basements, synagogues, wherever, to meet other quote-unquote singles, other desperate people looking to get hooked up with somebody permanently. There is a stink of death, a smell of desperation, an appearance of flop sweat with anyone who says, I'm single. I'm single is a desperate cry for help. It implies that something is broken and needs to be fixed. I'm single, but I don't want to be single. I'm single, as Mr. Nice Guy says in his email, I'm single, and I hate it. He says, my issue is, I'm not looking just to get laid, but I want a quality relationship. I am a man of moral standards. Whatever that means. Means you don't like sex very much. That, by the way, is the saving grace for people when they don't like sex very much. They love to talk about their moral standards. Most people who love to talk about moral standards, meaning they don't like to have sex, they don't plan to have sex, or they don't have sex, they're making an excuse for not liking sex, not wanting sex, or not being able to get sex. I'm a man of high moral standards. And I've never given a woman an orgasm, and I'm proud to say it because I am a moral individual. I don't do things like give women orgasms. I give flowers. I open car doors for women, but never, ever would I give them an orgasm. That would be wrong. I have high moral standards. Equals, I have no game. He says it's hard to find a woman with the same values I have. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute because it's not that hard. There's plenty of women who don't like sex. That's easy. He says, I guess the saying, nice guys finish last, is true. You kidding? We've been saying that since the beginning on this program. Nice guys don't get laid. Nice guys finish last. Women hate nice guys. All of that. It's true. Remember the letter we read on the air to that Carolyn Hacks at the Washington Post? The woman who said that she knows a nice guy. She's been dating him. She doesn't like him that much. She's not attracted to him. She even prays that one day she'll be more attracted to him. What she really wants is a guy who's a jerk. And Mr. Nice Guy is finding that out. He says, I'm just wondering, does a nice guy like me have a chance of a good relationship? Any tips you could give would be great. Signed, Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy, the problem, and this is what I said I would get to here, the problem for you is that the kind of women you can expect to get are the kind that people like me don't want. Average-looking women, women who like to attend church activities, women who like to attend, religious classes, Bible study. I mean, that's where you should be looking for women. Well, Dean said fat women, but that's pretty much a redundancy when you go to some of these events, church basements. That's what you're going to get. You see, your problem is you have the attitude of a religious person. But my guess is you go looking with the non-religious types. The non-religious types dominate. Bars, clubs, right? Discos. I mean, if you're looking there, forget it. You're never going to find them there. No, Dean, you're not going to find them at AA meetings. That's not true. At AA meetings, you find other codependent people who are in AA meetings because they can't stop drinking and effing. Or doing drugs and effing. That's what they do. I've known of more than one person in a 12-step program who hooked up with somebody at a 12-step program who has some of the same weaknesses or shortcomings that they had. I mean, can you imagine going to Sexaholics Anonymous meetings? What kind of chicks you could pick up there? Are you kidding me? I mean, Mr. Nice Guy who wrote in, let me just say this. If you want to meet nice girls with what you call high moral standards, it is time for you to go to your local church. That's where people who proclaim superior morality hang out. Stop going to dance clubs or bars. Stop hanging out at college dorms or student unions. You're not going to find them there. You're going to find them at a church or a synagogue. You need to get out of the world with the rest of us who like sex and go to the world where people don't like sex very much. And that is any church activities. Plenty of chicks there. Oh, plenty of them. Plenty of average-looking to homely women who don't like sex any more than you do. They believe that sex is for procreative purposes, and so they'll have sex with you in order to get the job done, and then that'll be pretty much the end of your sex life. And then somewhere down the line, you'll realize what you've missed, and you'll call me 5 years from now telling me how unhappy you are. But right now, that's your attitude. I think you're 23, and you just want to find a nice girl who has high moral standards. First of all, there aren't that many virgins left in this country, but your best chance of finding one is at a religious group. And being a nice guy is not going to help you because most of those girls have more sexual experience than you do. And if you won't give them what they need, there'll be some guy who's absolutely wrong for them, who will give them exactly what they need. And let me tell you something. If you try to date a girl that you meet under other circumstances, like at a bar or a dance club, and you don't make a move on her, believe me, there's a musician, a truck driver, a garbage man, a pizza guy, a pool boy. There's somebody out there who will when you're not around. Am I that far off?
Tom Leykis, 1-800-5800-866.
I think you're very general.
Of course I'm very general, because we're broadcasting.
Okay,
that doesn't mean we're just talking to broads. That means we're talking to a broad audience.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. I haven't been in college in a while, but I can tell it's final season because of the number of you who are writing to me and asking me to help you write your term papers. You would not believe this. I'm not making this up. People writing to me and saying, oh, I'm writing a paper about the living wage, and I was wondering what your arguments would be for and against. And then they expect me to, like, write back to them so they can cut and paste my work and put it in their term paper. It's not happening. Stop. Stop doing this, please. I just got another one. Would you answer these 10 questions? And they don't even, like, ask to call the office so they can, you know, ask me the questions and write the stuff down. They want me to sit there and type out answers to 10 questions. What would be the arguments for and against? Could you just write down the argument? Yeah, I'll be doing that. You got to be kidding me. You're right, Dean. If I'm not getting paid, I'm out. You should do what other students in college do. Plagiarize. I'm sure the answer is somewhere on the web. Just Google your question or go to ask.com, write the question in the form of a question. I'm sure somebody has already written about your subject. And then hope you don't get caught. How lazy can you be to write to a radio personality and ask him to write down all the arguments you're going to put into a term paper? I, who do not even have a college degree. I do not have a college degree. I dropped out after 2 years. I went broke. No, Dean, no one's asked me to write the thesis. What they do is they ask, like, the core question. And then want me to, you know, compare and contrast, elaborate, give them footnotes. I'm not kidding. You would not believe the detail of some of these emails. They want me to write in detail about stuff. Could you write the history of the FCC and broadcasting and your position on whether the government ought to be censoring programming? Yeah, I'll just write that down and email that to you. Anyway, all right, your call's here. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Eileen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay, Eileen.
Well, I was calling to just give you some info on, you know, good girl, bad girl, the relationship about being moral. I find myself a person of pretty high moral standards, but I don't think that you can't have a good sexual relationship. And being in a relationship doesn't mean that it's weak.
When people say they are a person of moral standards, that is a buzz phrase that generally means...
Yeah, and I usually don't use that phrase. I just, you know... commenting on the guy that did call.
Well, you don't use that phrase because people who do use that phrase would misunderstand what you were talking about.
Well, I mean, I'm
a person of high moral standards. When I borrow money, I pay it back.
Right.
I don't steal. I don't kill. I treat other people the way I would like to be treated. But I love to F and F and F again. So the people who use the phrase, I have high moral standards, come on, wink, wink, nod, nod. We know what you're talking about. You don't like sex.
Yeah, well, I was just calling to say I do. And, I am one of those people that I think of myself with good moral standards. But, you know, if he wants a relationship, I mean, you know, that's the big department. And if he's lacking that, then he needs to go get some counseling because God never said you can't enjoy sex. And that we're not supposed to.
Well, yeah, actually, he does say you can't enjoy sex when you're not married.
Well, yeah.
And you see, you have turned the Bible into a Chinese restaurant menu. You have one from column A and one from column B.
Right, true, but a lot of people do. And,
yeah, but the point is, if you are a follower of the God in the Bible, you are doing what you're not supposed to be doing.
Yes, but we are all sinners. Everybody.
That's a nice, easy excuse. As an atheist, by the way, I don't really care about any of this stuff. But how convenient that you pick and choose, like you're mixing and matching. You pick and choose the parts of your religion you choose to observe.
Well, no, I try not to pick and choose. I do try to follow
No, you
what
don't.
the Bible does say.
Well, why don't you wait until you're married to have sex?
Well, you know how that goes. In today's society, it's...
Well, today's society has nothing to do with it. Well, by the way, today's society, the Bible is a joke, okay? But people like you love to cite it and conveniently leave out the parts you disagree with.
Our whole law is based on the Bible.
No, it really isn't.
Yes, it is.
Really? So where does it say in the Bible that you can go to Iraq and start killing people?
Well, in the Bible, it does talk about war, though. It does talk about war. And if you're defending your country, I mean...
Yeah, but then the question is, by going to Iraq, are we defending our country? And you see, I don't want to get into that, and I hope the Dean will respect me as the screener.
I won't get into that either.
Because I don't want to have other calls about this subject, because that's what we're talking about. But the point I'm making to you, dear, is that it's one thing to defend yourself when you need to be defended, but when you go to Vietnam, for example, did God intend for people to go to Vietnam and start killing?
Oh, Tom, my phone is cutting out.
How convenient. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Christy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Christy.
Well, I think that you're really intelligent, so I'm actually calling you for some advice.
All right.
And I've been going through a relationship for like a year, and I have the same issues as the first guy who wrote in and started this topic about the whole meaningless sex thing. So I've been saying...
Wait. Stop right there. Meaningless sex.
Yeah, that you can't.
Now, is that your way of rewriting the Bible?
No,
In other words, it's one thing to say of moral standards, but now instead of waiting until you get married to have sex, now the moral standard is whether sex is meaningless or meaningful.
I guess, kind of.
Because the Bible demands that you get married before you have sex. Otherwise, it's called fornication. Something you're not supposed to be doing.
So the guy who wrote in was talking about getting married to somebody and having that type of a relationship.
He didn't even talk about that. He said he wants to have a quality relationship. It's clear when he says, I'm single and I hate it, he would like to get married.
Well,
First, he has to have a relationship.
Right now, I'm going through the process where I might be single, and I hate being single because I like being able to engage in that type of physical relationship with somebody, and I can't just do that with anybody. So is it my question?
Why? Because of religious reasons, or why?
No, just me personally. I can't enjoy like going out with random people that I don't know. I just don't. I don't have that type of connection with them.
Right. Well, he has different reasons. He has quote-unquote moral standards.
No, for me it's more of an emotional type thing, which I'm sure it is with most females, but would that be something worth working on a relationship for? If you have a great sex life and all that stuff, it's just other stuff that bothers you, like... Well,
you're going to have a hard time meeting people like that unless you go to the places where they congregate, like a church. I mean, think about it. People who go to bars, what do they go there for? They go there to drink alcohol, so they lower their own defenses and the defenses of the people they're buying alcohol for, so they can get them to break down and come home and have sex with them.
Yeah.
People who go to dance clubs have an excuse to touch people inappropriately, drinking alcohol all the time, ultimately to take them home and have sex with them. That's the purpose of it.
I know, and that's something that I can't put myself out there for.
So you need to go to, like, church bake sales or something like that. You need to go to little religious events, go on religious retreats.
You wouldn't recommend trying to work out the relationship that I'm already in, though?
Well, let me what kind of person are you with?
Well, our problem stems from him being an alcoholic and drinking and making big scenes where he would embarrass me when we would be out in public together.
So you're dating an alcoholic?
Yes.
Oh, I don't ever believe in getting into the quicksand and trying to fix people. By the way, he was an alcoholic when you met him.
Yes, he was.
And you knew it. And that's a flaw in your character that you would want to get involved with somebody who's an alcoholic.
Because I thought I could fix him.
Yeah, but you can't fix anybody.
I know.
And that's why you shouldn't work on this relationship. Because you shouldn't be fixing a relationship where your primary job is to fix a person.
Okay, well, thank you. You answered my question.
Do you disagree?
No, I totally agree with you, and a big part of me is telling myself that, but there are other, like when I get lonely, I think how much easier it would be. I already know that he wants to work things out.
I see. So sometimes you're just plain lazy.
I guess.
Well, all alcoholics want to work things out. That's what they want. They want to work things out so they can get things back the way they were, so they can continue drinking and embarrassing you or whatever they do.
Yes.
And I have a family full of alcoholics, heroin addicts, a lot of that in my family.
Mm-hmm.
I know all about it.
Okay, well, thank you. I know what to do. It's just hard to tell myself to do the right thing.
Just do it.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
All right, dear. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Diana, you're in Sedona, Arizona?
Absolutely.
Now, yeah, our show's not on the air in Sedona, is it?
Yes, it absolutely is. 1015 comes in my little car here.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Wow.
I used to listen to you when I was living in New York, and I was very impressed that when I heard you one day on this 1015 here in Arizona.
Wow. You know, one of my 4 marriages took place in Sedona.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. It's on my travelogue, yes. All right, dear, so you're dialing in from Sedona, and for people who don't know, Sedona is about 100 miles north of Phoenix.
Yes. Yes, and I have been telling lots of people about your show and trying to get them to tune in here because I believe that people can get this station. You know, it's a brand new station here, but I'm trying to get them on.
Oh my! Now I have to go to Sedona for the weekend just so I can listen in.
Oh, please do. Come on up.
I will for
sure. Here.
Absolutely. All right, Diana, what can I do for you?
Well, I have been listening for a long time, and there have been lots of issues that I have wanted to call in about, or I've been listening for. One of them is, I have to say, Tom, I'm a single mama, and it was a product of a very lovely relationship that just didn't work out. But I'm a hot single mom. I'm not looking for anybody to buy me things. I have my own education. I have my own life. I make my own money. And I was just calling because I called in and talked to your fellow who answered the phone saying I just got out of a hotel room with a lovely 18-year-old boy that I've fully taken advantage of today, and I just wanted to let you know.
Did you check his ID, dear?
Oh, absolutely. I know him well, and he's a fabulous guy. And it's just I listen to you talking to these fellas about protecting themselves and really paying attention to who it is that they're with and why they're there. And I really want you to extend that to women as well. And I think underneath it all, it really does speak to women.
Well, it speaks to anyone who wants to get laid, dear.
It's true, but above and beyond that, people taking care of themselves and being self-sufficient adults is really important. This day and age, women need to be self-sufficient. I was with a very wealthy, very established man, and it didn't work out. And if I had put all my eggs in that basket, I would have been SOL. And I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I had my education. I'm glad that I, worked on my own career and whatnot in order to make sure that I wasn't going to end up like these gold diggers who are out there just to get the men to spend more than their $40 on a date.
Yes.
I think that it's important that us women, we really, do for ourselves in order to be an equal partner with all these fellows that you're teaching these naughty tricks.
And they work, too.
Absolutely. But, Tom, I love this show, and I think that you really do speak volumes, not only about the way that humans can interact with each other and adult people can interact with each other, but on world issues, on politics. I really agree with everything that you say, and it's fun to listen, and I'm so glad that we get you here in Sedona. I wasn't able to make your party down in Phoenix, but yeah, I don't think you'll have much success here in Sedona having a party. Maybe 5 people will show up.
Well, I think if I come to Sedona, I'm going to have my own little party. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, give me a phone call. I'd love to hear from you.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, maybe I will, for God's sake.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
After you bang all night, who wants to get up out of bed and go home?
Me. That's exactly what I want to do.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles. It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Mr. Nice Guy wrote it and said, I'm 23, single, and I hate it. My issue is I'm not looking just to get laid, but I want a quality relationship. I'm a man of moral standards. It's hard to find a woman with the same values I have. I guess the saying, nice guys finish last, is true. I'm just wondering, does a nice guy like me have a chance at a good relationship? Any tips you can give would be great. Rick on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Rick.
How you doing, brother?
Do you care?
I do.
Doing great.
Good. This guy who's 23 and single and hates it, tell him to move back in with Mama. Mama did too much for him, and he ain't going to find a woman out there to do all that crap for his ass. Didn't mean to say that word on the air, but you know what I mean? 23 and single, you should be loving life right now. You should be out just hitting everything you can get and not worrying about the qualities and morals and standards of life. You're a free man. If you miss it that much, move back in with Mama. Let her take care of you. That's all I can tell him. I'm 34, Tom. I have been married for 15 years to an LA 9.75. And I love every minute of it. High school sweetheart, met her when I was 13. Been around her ever since. Knew that was the one. Didn't need any other woman around. Even though I hit a few before her. But anyways, that guy right there at 23 and single, go back to Mama.
Thank you, Rick. It's Javier on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Dad.
Son.
Great to speak to you. I was having a conversation with my friend, and he does the same thing, or he used to do the same thing, just gave women too much respect, and started telling me that, the right thing to do would be to tell the girl if, you're sleeping around with other girls. And I wanted to reach across and punch him in the face and tell him that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I didn't really have means as to how to back this up, and I was wondering what your opinion is on that.
Oh, I believe, well, put it this way. First of all, you never use a phrase like, yeah, by the way, I'm a bad boy, or by the way, just be doing those things. Make sure they know that there are nights of the week when you might be out with somebody else. You want to appear to be in demand.
Yeah.
You do not want to appear that you're hanging by your thumbs waiting for the phone to ring. And there are women who are delusional about this. They think that once they've gone out with you, you are waiting for their next call. Sometimes they are waiting to see if you will call. When in reality, you may not even be thinking about them. So I do believe in letting women know that you see other women.
But not necessarily telling them that you're sleeping around with other girls.
What is that? What does there seem? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to give them the specifics of who you're sleeping with or how much sex you're having. But they should know that your relationship is not exclusive.
Gotcha, Tom. Thanks a lot. And one more thing. This guy who's 23 and hating it, I'm 21, and just started listening to your show not too long ago. I was in a relationship for about almost 3 years, and started listening to your show. You practically saved my life.
Love that. How'd she react when you dumped her?
Oh, broke her heart. But, you got to look out for number one, Tom.
That's right. Exactly.
Can you blow me up, please, Tom?
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Stacy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Stacy.
How are you doing?
Great.
I am so excited to be talking to you.
As well you should be, dear. Yes, great.
So I was telling the person who answered the phone, I've been going out with my boyfriend for about 1.5 years. He's 35. I'm 29. And he is telling me now that he's not really interested in sex that much anymore. And I asked him why we should still even be going out. And he does not want to break up.
Yeah, and so what's your question?
What is he thinking?
Clearly, he doesn't like sex, and he wants to have companionship. But he needs to be with someone else who doesn't like sex also.
That's what I'm...
Not you.
I don't really get it. I mean, I don't understand why...
Well, what is there to even think about?
I guess that's right.
I can't believe you're even thinking about this.
I can't believe I'm thinking about it either. I mean, he says that he still, he loves me and I love him, but I feel like he is trying to convince me that
but he's actually making headway with you because you're thinking about it.
Well, he is. I mean, he's trying to convince me that no relationship is going to be without problems, and it's pretty much not going to...
All right, well, fine. If you're with somebody who forgets to tuck his shirt in, I'm sure you could survive a relationship like that. A guy who doesn't put the toilet seat down when he's done using the toilet, I'm sure you could learn to live with that. Many women do. But not having sex with you, that is not a little difference between you that you can overlook.
Yeah.
That would be like somebody saying, I don't want to be with somebody who urinates. Would you stop doing it?
No.
Right. So you'd probably find another place to go, right?
That's what I've been thinking about.
Same with sex, dear.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. I know what I'm going to have to do here.
You're going to have to break his little heart.
I think so. That's going to be it. All right, man. Thanks so much.
Stacy, thank you. It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Alexis. Hello.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, it's a miracle you didn't ask me, do you care? No, I do, though. Well, anyhow, I'm a 23-year-old single female, and I wanted to talk, give a comment about that guy. I mean, most men are intimidated by women, and that's what I do.
Why do you say that men are intimidated by women?
Because lately, I've been trying to talk to people, and it's like, oh, well, I was scared to talk to you because I didn't know if you were married or blah, blah, blah. I don't even give off that impression at all.
Well, obviously you do. You're in denial about it.
No, I don't.
If people think that, that's the impression they're getting.
You think? I don't know.
Clearly.
I really don't, and I've been told that...
You don't think you do.
I am they're afraid to talk to me. I mean, one of them was even afraid to look at me. And why would you do that? I mean, that's insane.
And you're telling me men are telling you they're afraid to look at you?
Well, I've had a few guys tell me that.
Are you scary looking?
Oh, my God. No. That's how pretty I am. Just kidding.
What do you look like?
I look like a girl, of course. I'm not one of those... I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe myself. I have brown eyes, brown hair. I weigh 140. I stand 5'2". I'm short. I do know that.
So, and you've got junk in the trunk.
Yeah, of course.
In a big way.
Yeah. My butt is nice, I think.
But yeah, but it's more than you've got a butt and a gut at 140, dear.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't want to be bony. That's nasty.
There, we're not talking about being bony. There's something in between bony and having a beer gut, like you.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say it's a beer gut. I would just say I'm thick, but not fat.
Thick is fat.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
It's fit and it's comfortable, and I don't look at it.
Well, dear, you may be comfortable, but it's not necessarily comfortable for us to look at.
I have enough cushion for...
Cushion for the pushing. Yeah, yes. Well, again...
And it's comfortable.
You have to set your sights lower. Because men who are wealthy or successful or desirable, they can do better.
You think?
Absolutely.
Well, I wouldn't say they could do better than me, but...
I know you wouldn't say it, but they would. They're the ones who count. Unbelievable. Some people are in such denial.
The Tom Leykis Show.